Your teenage years are the most important years of your life. You can either use it to develop your future or to destroy your future. Here are 14 life lessons that will help any teenager. The first life lesson that you need to know: you must become accountable for everything. No matter what it is in your life, you need to be accountable for it. If something is going bad in your life, you have to realize that it was your fault. You did something that led up to that action. You Everything falls under your responsibility. Once you change your mindset from, oh, it's someone else's fault, it's my parents' fault, it's genetics, it's this, it's that, and you change it to, I'm responsible, it's my fault. That's when you become successful. That's when your potential skyrockets. Every successful person that you know is accountable for themselves. So this stems off from the first lesson. Every action leads to another. So you must control every single action that you take. Let's say you want to play video games, right? And you think that there's nothing wrong with it. You know, if you listen to the advice from one of the YouTubers that told you that you could play 1 hour video games a day and it's not going to hurt you. Realize that action is going to compound. That action is going to compound. In the future, you're going to be addicted to video games. And sure, it might have just been an hour a day, but soon you'll just get addicted. Now take another person. Instead of that 1 hour of video games every single day, what did he do? He read a book. He watched a podcast. Over time, he becomes way more successful because he learns more. So you really must realize that every single action that you take will lead to another. And this could be, like I said, the example where you play video games. It could either be like that, or it could be something like drinking. Let's say you go out to a party and you drink. Now you drive. You think that you could drive, so you go ahead and drive, and you hit a tree, or worse, you hit a car and you kill someone. Now you're serving life in prison. Every little action that you take will lead to something. It compounds. And one wrong thing, one wrong action can ruin your entire life. So you must be very, very careful. Now, don't listen to that advice. You only live once. Everyone always says that you only live once. Go enjoy your youth. Go enjoy this. Go enjoy that. Go do this. When you go and party, when you go and drink, when you go and smoke, when you go play video games, all of these bad habits that you do, over time, like I said, it compounds. Your action today causes your results tomorrow. The next life lesson: do not think negative. So much times in my life, I had this negativity. I was born having this negative voice in my head. Now, you could use that voice for good. There's two ways this voice can be used. The first way is this voice just constantly belittles you. It tells you you can't do this, you can't do that. Now that is horrible. The other way that this voice can be useful is if it motivates you to do something. If you look in the mirror and this negative voice is telling you that you're fat, that is a good thing. But if this negative voice is telling you that you're fat and you can't control that, that is a bad thing. You could control the voice in your head. You could tame it. It is yours. So you can't let this negativity creep inside of your mind, these negative thoughts. Every single time it comes in your head, all these thoughts that you can't do it, that you don't have the potential to do it, it's not for you. You start to believe it. You believe the thoughts that come into your mind. Your thoughts literally create your reality. If you think you're amazing, if you think that you're going to achieve something, you will eventually achieve it. But if you think that you'll never achieve it, if you think that you're not good enough, you will never achieve nothing in your life. You must stay off social media, Netflix, video games, pretty much any entertainment. Now, if you play once in a while, I did say you shouldn't play an hour a day, but if you play once in a while, I'm not going to hold you back. I'm not going to tell you that you can't do that. However, don't spend most of your time on this. For example, when I was a teenager, it was quarantine, the best time to work on my craft, to go and achieve my goals. What did I do instead? I spent on social media, Netflix, video games. Legit, that's all I did. That's really, actually all I did. I played video games, and then I went to scroll on TikTok all day. And then I watched Netflix. All this stuff brought me no benefits. Me doing that led to nothing. Me having spent all of that time on social media, Netflix, entertainment, basically all that garbage stuff, literally brought me no results right now. Right now, the only thing it actually might have done is fry my brain. That's pretty much the only thing that it has done for me. So you cannot spend all of your time on this. it really makes you not present in the moment as well. There's always that one person where when you talk to him, he's legit stuck on his phone. He doesn't even know what's going on. He's so unaware of his surroundings. You cannot be that person. Be that person that instead of scrolling on TikTok, you go and you pick up a book. You go and hit the gym. You go and do anything that's good for you. Because when you're spending all this time on useless things, it's just going to affect you in the future. You're going to have the regret. You don't want a life where all you remember is being on your phone, being on a screen, and doing nothing. Next life lesson. Stop expecting fast results. This is another problem that I faced. When I first started hitting the gym, I was looking in the mirror and I was like, why is the results not here? It was like 2 weeks only, and I was thinking to myself, like, where's my muscle at? But you have to realize that everything that's good takes time. You must learn to actually enjoy the process. Now, you always hear that, but what does that mean? That means that you legit do something that you love, and day in and day out, you work even if there's no results. There's not going to be results in the first, let's say, 6 months. You will see tiny results, but you're not going to see a huge, insane results. It takes years. Imagine you spend 5 years in the gym, the physique that you will have. It takes time. You have to stretch your timeline, and that is anything, for money, for relationships, for the gym, for legit anything in your life. Everything that is good takes time. You can't build a good relationship on 1 month. It takes years. You can't build, a multi-million-dollar business in 1 month. It takes years. Everything takes years. So stretch your timeline. Stop expecting everything to come fast. You need to learn more. Instead of spending your time on all these garbage habits that I went over, pick up a book, watch a podcast, hire a mentor to teach you, join a school community, anything that has to do with learning something. Because your teenage years are the best years to learn. When you are learning in your teenage years, when you're 30 years old and you spent, an hour a day learning, all of those hours are going to compound. I'm telling you, you will be in such a greater place in your life. And the best way to learn is honestly to learn from another person's mistakes. You could learn from your own. That's very good. But when you learn from someone else's mistakes, that puts you across the room from someone else. That puts you away. You're going to basically be better than them. You're going to be way better than them. Your potential is going to be higher. Everything is going to be better. Because the same guy who, let's say one guy drives home and he's listening to degenerate rap music, and the other guy drives home. Instead of listening to rap, he watches a podcast. Who do you think is going to do better? Who do you think is going to become more successful? The guy listening to the podcast, he's feeding his brain. Imagine your brain is a car and it needs that gas. That gas is when you learn. The next thing is, you must stop caring about what other people think about you. Now, this is probably the most important one on this list, to me, at least. Because during middle school and the first and second year of high school, I cared about what everyone had to think about me. And to this day, I'm not going to lie, it's really hard to not care, but you must become that version of yourself where you don't care about what anyone thinks about you. And it's also, you must not care about what other people think about what you're going to do. So let's say you want to start something. Let's say you want to, when I started hitting the gym, everyone was telling me that I'm wasting my time. Everyone was telling me it's dangerous, this, that. And what happened? 2 years later, they start complimenting me. That's always how it is. People always hate on you. But then when you become good, when they see that you're making results, that's when they decide to, oh, good job. You've probably had that happen in your life with something at least once, where people, start making fun of you, and then you become successful in something, and they tell you did a good job. That always happens. You must not care about what other people think. And when they're hating on you, when people are hating on you, they're just projecting their own insecurities. They're projecting their own fear because they know that they could be better themselves, but they're not. While you are grinding and you are trying to become your best self. Prioritize your health. Eat clean, work out, do anything to improve your health. If you are hitting the gym, that is very good, but you also must look at what you're eating, what you're putting inside of your body. Now, you know that protein builds muscle. However, look inside of your protein. It has artificial sugars. It has so many chemicals, sweeteners, all this garbage stuff that's affecting you, that's lowering your testosterone. So while you think that is building your muscle, it actually won't do that good for you because you're actually lowering your testosterone. And when you lower your testosterone, it's harder to build muscle. So you must just prioritize eating very clean, single ingredient foods. Now, I'm not saying you can have, a bad meal here and there. That's fine. But just try every day to work towards getting a cleaner and cleaner diet. Even if you're bulking, even if you're cutting, whatever you're doing, try to go for a cleaner diet. Don't listen to these garbage fitness influencers who are telling you that it's okay to have protein, it's okay to have Krispy Kreme donuts, whatever it is. don't listen to that BS, because they're just going to hurt you in the future. Don't listen to them when they say, get this code 30% off, whatever. They just want money from you. They don't actually care about you. I'm here to tell you that you must eat clean, prioritize your health, because your health is what everything stems from. You will become more successful if you're more healthy. You'll have better relationships, you'll have better mental health, you'll do better in the gym. Everything will be better if you just focus on your health first. Choose your friends wisely. What does this mean? This means that you must really be aware of who's around you, who's in your circle, because you are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. Now, you've probably always heard this, but if you take a deeper look, this basically means that whatever they're doing is what you're going to do too. If you have 5 friends and they all want to go and drink, chances are you're going to do the same. If they all party, you're going to do the same. You basically follow them. They're basically your tribe. Is your tribe people who are losers, who don't want nothing to do with their life? Or is your tribe people who are chasing success, people who want to be the most successful that they can, the most successful in their entire bloodline? If that's the case, keep them. But if they're holding you back, if you know deep down that they're not bringing you any good, they're not even good friends, they disrespect you and they say it's a joke, it's better to just cut them off, because they're holding you back. You are tied to a rope and the rope is them. But when you cut that rope, you keep on going. Your hard times will pass. Now, many times as a teenager, we go through hard times in our life. This is probably the stage where we don't know what's going on in our life. We, feel so anxious, so worried about the future. But it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up. The times will pass. Chances are in 5 years, that mistake that you made won't matter. Now, if it's a huge mistake though, like I said in one of my life lessons, your actions could result in something bigger. But if it's an intentional mistake, if you know deep down like it could have led to that, that's your fault. But if it's an unintentional mistake, let's say you didn't know what you were doing and something bad happened, then that is not your fault and it will pass. But you have to be very careful, because you can't allow the mindset where, oh, like I'm okay, I'm allowed to have mistakes. You are only allowed to make mistakes if it's unintentional. For example, you take a risk for a business and it fails. That was a mistake, but you learn from that and you get back up. There's a difference between someone who learns from their mistakes and someone who just makes them. So really learn from your mistakes and realize that whatever you're going through will pass. You must stand up for yourself. If you don't stand up for yourself, if you let people disrespect you, it's just going to get worse and worse. This is what happened to me in middle school and the early years of high school. I had no respect for myself. I had no confidence. I walked kind of like head down and tried to avoid people, didn't give anyone eye contact. And what happened? I was bullied, made fun of, disrespected, so many things. No girls wanted me. And that's the truth. Girls are attracted to confidence. If you are not confident, you're not going to get any girls. You're not going to get anyone that respects you in general. So how do you become more confident? You stand up for yourself. That's the first thing. You have your shoulders back. You have your chin up. And when someone disrespects you, you speak up on it. You have a voice. Because if you just allow them to do it, like I said, it's going to get worse. And the best way, honestly, if I could give you one tip to improve your confidence, it would be start hitting the gym. Start taking your workout seriously. Because when you bulk up, when you fill up, you just automatically get more respect. People just see your hard work. They see that, honestly, you just look more masculine, you look stronger, and they respect that. So really, you need to stand up for yourself, not let anyone disrespect you at all. Even if they say it's a joke, it's not a joke. Don't let anyone disrespect you. You are responsible for your self-image. You need to write down your goals. If you don't have a goal in your life, if you don't have a future vision, when you wake up, you're not going to have anything. You're going to feel empty. You're going to have this void inside. And the reason why is because you're not chasing anything. There's no reason to wake up, because there's nothing for you to do. Everyone back then, they were in tribes and they had to hunt down animals. Every single person had a specific role, a specific goal that they had to accomplish for the day, for the year, for the month, for the entire decade. They knew what they were going to do. But when you have nothing going on in your life, you're just going to be lazying around. You're not going to feel like doing anything. You're going to feel sorry for yourself. But when you have a goal, it guides you. If you have a future vision of becoming very fit, and you go to work and you see a piece of cake on the table, you are not going to eat it, because that does not align with your future vision. But if you had no goals at all, you're going to go in and just eat it, because you're not going to know why it's bad for you. You're just going to think that it's a piece of cake. But when you have something, like I said, your entire life gets directed towards it. Be grateful for what you have in your life. Many times we overlook this. We don't really appreciate what we have in our life, and sometimes we don't appreciate it until it's gone. But whatever it is in your life, even if you think there's someone that has it better than you, let's say someone has a nicer car than you should appreciate that you even have a car. Because if you don't appreciate this stuff, I'm telling you, you're going to have this like negative mindset this entire life that you live. You're going to feel this emptiness that you could have more and more and more. You'll never feel like you have enough in your life. But when you become grateful for what you have, you just become more happier in your life. You seem to enjoy the tiny things in life. But when you're focused on this materialism, when you're focused on, why is this going wrong? Why is this going wrong? You'll always have this like worried, clouded thought cycle. So be grateful, especially for your parents as well. Your parents worked hard for you, so be grateful for them. Be grateful for, honestly, anyone in your life that has helped you. What I like to do is write down 3 things when I journal I am grateful for, and just write that down. Because when you change your mindset from ungrateful to grateful, your life becomes more positive. Everything becomes brighter for you. The final life lesson, and I know I said there was a more important one earlier, but this is actually the most important one. This is why I kept it last. You must build a relationship with God. You must follow the ways of Jesus Christ. Try to become a man like Jesus. When you do this, everything in your life becomes better. You become more successful. And not only in this life will you become more successful, you become more successful in the eternal life. So truly try to build the greatest relationship with Jesus. Better than with your parents, better than with your friends, with your partner. Jesus is the most important relationship that you must build. Because when you do this, you won't have anxiety, you won't have depression, you won't have all this negativity. Because God brings positivity. God is going to bring you happiness. He's going to clear your path so you know what to do in your life. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. See ya.